sometimes you go with these people, they're writing articles saying that they go, millennial dads have pathetic DIY skills compared to baby boomers, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't mind when people kind of, even Gen X is, talking shit or whatever. But when like a 60-year-old guy is like, you guys can't even fix a shed. It's like, you can barely use a fucking computer.
Yeah, for sure. Also, millennials have been like electrocuted way less than boomers.
Oh, of course. And there's so many reasons. And first of all, you go, this is the thing. It's like, what the other thing they realize, you go, hey, your generation's like Gen X is all the billionaires, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's like these people, it's like clinging on to this, like, I can but I can put a shed together. And it was like, yeah, and they have an app now where you can hire someone to do that really easily.
Yeah,
they also like solved a lot of these problems. And then there's more important things where they go, yeah, millennials like have a way worse deal where they can't even afford homes, most of them. So one of the things they're like, millennials, most millennials don't have a step ladder. It's like, yeah, they don't have a house, so why would they?
Yeah, but if they didn't spend all their money on people to do their bugman work for them, they'd have money for their homes.
A new poll of 1,000 millennial dads and 1,000 baby boomer dads found that when a DIY task need to be done at home, more than half of millennials prefer to call a professional. Well, it's like there's so many things. First of all, most millennials' wife works, so you have two people working in the house, which means, and then all of the new stuff, you sort of get forced to do a lot of girl jobs a lot of times. So it's like a lot of these guys that before they're like, yeah, and I fix the things, and you're like, yeah, a lot of people now, the guys have to do all fucking cleaning and bullshit like that.
Absolutely. There's no time. I've been doing a lot of anti-bugman stuff, though, recently. Because I moved in, putting things together.
Oh, yeah, probably bad. I have specific...
I put this one thing together, actually. It's really funny because we have not that much space in our apartment. And so it's like one of those over-the-toilet, like, hutch things to put toiletries. And then you need to, like, secure it to the wall, but it's tile, which didn't think about that. So it's, like, literally just, like, sways. Every time you open it, everything falls out of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, why?
But whoever put that together would have done the same job because you can't secure it.
Well, if you are, like...
Dude, stuff's literally falling into the toilet. Like, you open it, and then a bunch of stuff falls into the toilet.
Take it down. Hire someone. This is the thing, because Danny probably listens to this boomer rhetoric, and he goes... Yeah, you're right. I do need to not be a bugman anymore. His girl probably yells at him like a real man.
Honestly, you know what?
I don't get played by those games.
No, she's like,
go date one.
No,
man.
she goes call the person, and I don't know. I kind of like
everyone around you tells you to call the person.
I like fixing stuff sometimes. Anything that I feel like I fix, you get a sense of accomplishment. You fix something,
I had a big IKEA cabinet, and I literally, my chick goes, hey, just like wait till I come home to fix it. Don't do it. And then I messaged her 5 minutes later, broke it. I tried to squeeze the things together.
Yeah, be careful.
This article is really trying to take a shot at me.
Yeah.
But, and so obviously I get the idea where you go, listen, dudes are, more feminine in a certain way. But like some of this stuff is structural where it's like, a lot of people work in fucking jobs where they're not, construction workers anymore. You know what I mean?
Also, if you live in something like you live in an apartment or a condo, then you don't need any of these skills because you're not allowed to do any of this shit.
Of course.
Like what? Like, I mean, obviously be able to like hammer a nail to hang a picture, but there's lots of stuff that, I don't know. You're not
and then also people have kids later too, right? So it's like there's a big part of, people, let me go to the shed and fix stuff to get away from these people and all that stuff. And it was like now it's a little... you have you're not getting away from the wife. She has her own job, so they have they have more.
You both work at home, unfortunately. Still,
now,
you both still work at home.
So if I'm gonna go fix something, it's gonna have to be at my buddy's house.
You just go to the park and just hammer a bench or something.
But one of the main things is like the reason why I'm like actually bringing this up is it all kind of comes to that like efficiency thing, where if you're really saying like. What you're trying to do is like optimize your life, right? And if you're like, hey, I make X amount of dollars, I can hire someone for $30 for something. There's so many things where you go, you only have a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And the same reason why a lot of people rationalize that it makes sense for me to like order this as opposed to go shopping. Like,
100%.
But there's a million things. Like, why do some people when they're in that position order groceries instead of go shopping? Because like, that's an hour that's like valuable that you could use for other things.
Absolutely.
And people got so much more specialized, period. Not to say that's always a good thing, but over the last little while, how much like specialization things got way more like that in terms of what jobs people do too, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are certain issues where sometimes where you actually can just fix it yourself and it doesn't take up time or whatever.
Like what?
But I have a very specific thing that I did
toilet
last
clog. Do you want to fix yourself? You don't have
no,
to face
see,
the music on it.
no. See, I like to call the plumber and show him my fucking work. I go, no, like my.
You have to call a plumber with a big one in there.
No, I've had to call a plumber for like a sink clog, but never for a toilet clog. No, a toilet clog, I'm just like,
dude, that's the most.
I'm moving out.
There's nothing more embarrassing than having to tell people.
Blame it on the girl. You go, it's the fucking.
I clogged at some of my friends' parents' house once,
and it was unfixable. Like,
no, it was not. It was my friend's. His parents were there. It was like a friend's, I guess his uncle's house.
No.
So I was like a very removed guest, but they had a swimming pool, and a couple of us were at the house. And I saw that that water started rising, my friend.
No.
So
looking around, you go,
the only
full
good
Ace
thing,
Ventura.
The only good thing is it was more like actual water. Like it was one of those ones where it sort of actually somewhat flushes then clogs
Gotcha.
as opposed to the brown water flowing over.
That's the worst when it starts flow, and then you try and flush it, hit it again, and you go, "That was a mistake." And then it starts literally coming over.
If I was to kill myself, I think that's how I'd do it.
Would just stick your head in the bowl? It's just coming over.
Yeah. Yo, that bowl starts rising up. Nothing's tougher. Yo, that'd be the worst to be a girl having that happen, man.
It's nightmare.
Being a girl like at a guy's house on a date. Every Ben Stiller movie, basically. I think Ben Stiller
remember there was the girl. There was like
he
he does. That's the gagger.
That's Ben
But there was
Stiller's
this girl who was on a date, and then she fucking took a shit in this guy's. It was like a big viral thing. She took a shit in his.
Took it out in a bag.
Yeah, took it out. Remember?
I actually get the move.
Took it out in a bag, but then the bag got stuck, and she had to she got stuck trying to get.
No. She locked the bag inside and then couldn't get back in the house.
Or something like and then
she accidentally went out and the bag left a bag inside, so she just left the log of shit on his fucking. Oh man!
No, but the thing I fixed is last night.
Yikes.
I accidentally left the freezer door unhinged, and then the fan got all this ice on it, which is what is happening in the studio. Actually, with our fridge, you could hear it, and then you have to defrost the freezer. But that was like a kind of non-Bugman thing that didn't take any time.
I have no problem. I'm like.
But the noise was so annoying.
But that's one of those things where when anyone tries to get you on, it's like you don't fix stuff. It's like, dude, the things in here, they're like, and millennials won't fix tires as much. And it was like, dude, if my car breaks, you pay, I have a service where I paid $150 a month, and you can have within 20 minutes, anyone would come fix your thing for you.
Yeah, of course.
It's like, yeah, you're right. It cost me $20, and I'm not sitting in the middle of the highway with a bunch of wrenches, like in the rain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Losing a screw, you drop a screw, it rolls over there. Now you're like crawling through.
Anytime
dirt.
Safety is at risk, I like if it's I don't do it. If there's like a safety component where you're like this could be unsafe for the future, I'm out.
Safety of me, my general well-being of wanting to do this shit. Want nothing to do with this nonsense.
Yeah.
So they don't have kids. There's like people are more specialized, and on top of that, they're like, look at this. Our sons don't know how to do anything, and be like, I guess wouldn't that be you that didn't teach them?
Well, also half of those sons are daughters now. What are they meant to do?
Right. But that's what it is. You go, these boomers, like, it's like a self-own for like a 60-year-old guy to be like, my 3 kids can't do anything. And be like, I guess you were crappy at being a dad? I don't know.
But also this is New York Post. New York Post is kind of would.
They've been coming out with this Andy Bugman rhetoric.
That's what I'm saying. Boomers, they would because they're boomers.
Yeah.
New York Post is all conservatives.
But they do. I'm telling you, guys get forced to do more like normal girl jobs and stuff because the division of labor changed. So you go, well, then fine. We're paying with our money for a guy to come do this then. We're adding a third man in. He's going to do my shit.
A surrogate, if you will.
We're having a surrogate fixer.
Yeah. Surrogate Bugman.
Yeah, definitely. Millennial dads are less likely than their boomer counterparts to be able to change a car tire on the side of the road, unblock a toilet or sink, reset a tripod circuit breaker, or even open a stuck pickle jar with their hands. So that one doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Yeah,
they're
stuck
not,
pickle jar?
I can open a jar. But you go, the other ones, you go, this is where, as much as I was giving like rationalizations, there's also, it's like, yo, you guys, go run a Discord server.
Go deal with 45 crazy unhinged people dropping N-bombs nonstop on a Discord server, and then you come back to me.
Yeah.
Tell me a problem about your toilet.
Yeah. Like, go upload a video on TikTok right now. It's like these people, the way that they talk, they go, yeah, you don't understand like all of the new world. And by the way, this is the world that matters more now
Yes.
too. It's not like, if you look at the future and you go 100 years from now, well, I guess it could go one of two ways where it's like apocalypse where like now the bugmen are really getting screwed. But it could also go the other way in 30 years where you're like, yeah, that stuff you go, that all got like real solved. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Changing your tire changes itself. You know what doesn't change itself, Boomer? This Discord server.
This Discord server, I cannot figure out the permissions. We actually had it in the Boyscast Discord server. Someone messaged me, go, yeah, just so you know, like anybody can make themselves an admin and they can just take your server. And you go, oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. Well,
But it was like that for over a year. Nobody said anything.
these editing programs like file sizes, all of this stuff, like figured out how to run a social media campaign. Like some of these guys, I remember even when I was young in the band, it was like, I used to say, if you wanted someone to do this job, hire an 18-year-old because you guys don't know what the hell you're talking about.
No.
Dude, the amount of money a lot of these big marketing companies spend just because they have no clue how the fucking internet works.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all they know.
And then, people are making real money on the internet. Just, like if we have buddies that are just like, doing like Amazon drop shipping stores and stuff like that, making cash. And it was like, so I don't need some guy that's worked on a fucking line for 50 years to tell me.
No.
You
We're
don't
a
know how to
bug
work-
man.
You don't know how to work a drill? I could buy you.
I buy and sell pieces of shit like you every day, pal.
That's such a funny way. But
You think there's going to be a Bugman dating app? Bugman, bug women?
it is sort of like a cope though for yeah, bug. I mean, I think it is. But it's only bug men,
Just bug
and it's
men.
definitely a dating app for
It's a different kind of Bugman.
that dating app does exist.
Yeah. It's a different kind of Bugman.
Bug grinder. I tell you though, if I had some, especially because there is something to be said about the fact that all of the real billionaires that kind of changed the world in the last little bit were all Gen X.
Yeah, that's true.
Like those. There's the
men.
The boomers are the old money where it's like we ran or
The Vanderbilts.
yeah you started a.
We lost all our family's money. That's what they're all doing. They go, we lost all our family.
That's what they're all doing. That's what their bug men are doing.
Yeah.
So, millennial dads reported not owning a cordless drill. I own one of those. Step ladder. Why would I own a step ladder?
I don't own any of these things.
Why would you own a step ladder?
Just to get up.
I have a
to
drill
high
because
stuff.
I'm always drilling, dude.
Been drilling.
I'm a big driller. No, I'm always putting up stuff.
Oh, see, I always just use the
I'm a big
nails.
art guy.
Me too, but I just
I
use
gotta put my
nails.
skull photos.
It's funny you use it. You don't need a drill for that.
What?
You don't even need a drill for that.
You do some places. A set of screwdrivers or even a hammer. Well, I mean, yeah, you can get one. I will say it's good to probably just get like one kit that you just have forever.
You know what
You do. You buy one kit and you just have it
yes,
forever.
but I had that, but then when I moved to New York, I was like, what do I need this for? So then I never brought it with me. I think I got rid of it. So then I was just hanging pictures the other day, and I don't have a hammer, and obviously my girlfriend
Yeah,
doesn't.
that's
have
right. You don't have a hammer.
My girlfriend doesn't have a hammer, so I was using a tape measure as the hammer,
Yeah, or a can of
and then
beans
I
or
destroyed
something.
the tape measure.
I guess this is what they're
It was
talking
just
about.
smashed apart in my hand.
Yeah, but so they're talking shit, and you're right. But can they run a crypto Ponzi scheme? Like you
No,
could?
no, absolutely not.
So these people, yeah, they're able to put a photo on the wall, but can they short Dogecoin, long Bitcoin like you?
no.
What do you think about this? There should be like someone should do like a cryptocurrency that's pegged to the impressions of like a trend, like Ukraine or like hashtag free the nipple or like our BLM or how these things kind of become
Yeah.
the biggest thing in the world, and then you don't hear about them, obviously, right?
Sure.
It really does, right? But you should be able to track that and bet on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like bet on the trend of like when it's going to end.
Well, it would be based on internet impressions. Like, remember Andrew Tate became the most Googled man in his impressions, right?
Yeah.
So you would essentially, I think some other people have tried to do some version.
I mean,
of
always
this, right?
whenever there is a trend, some coin pops up. Like there was a Tate coin, and Tate was like, "I'm not involved in this in any way."
No. But it wouldn't be. So I understand that's the general principle, but I'm saying tied exactly to impressions.
What's the utility of it, though?
There is none.
Oh, you just want it as a way to gamble on it?
Oh yeah, I guess it needs utility.
Yeah.
No, there's no utility. It's
Yeah.
just, it's a gambling thing, I guess. I guess you're just betting on impressions then.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do an over/under on impressions, there's betting markets where you could just probably put that proposition up, saying like this person will get.
I feel like I could kill it on there.
Well, the problem
I
is
feel like I
need
could
to take
predict.
someone. You need someone to take the other side of it, though, right?
Yeah, they will. Yo, idiots will be like, no, this Ukraine thing in 2 years we'll be talking about it just as much. I bet you most of these things, if you get, but then it forces them to put their money where their mouth is. They go,
Yeah.
dude, this is the biggest thing we're going to be talking about. This new activist thing that you're not. I go, we're not going to hear about this, and you go, no, we're going to be talking about this every day. I go, oh, good. You can make money on that opinion.
I guess if you could, what about?
I think people will bet on it.
Yeah, you could,
and then they can put their proceeds to the cause.
Yeah.
then I can just
Instead of
rinse
having
these
to just
suckers.
like what is it, like those Twitter accounts where people taking L's and then you just show them 6 months later to dunk on them.
I love
That's
that.
the current equivalent of how you do that deal with that thing, is you just dunk on them 6 months later with their takes.
Well, I will say that the final thing where they go 61% would rather hang out with their children than spend time on DIY, while 49% of millennial dads say they've done better with their own dads at spending quality time with their kids. So that's another thing that they're saying, that on top of that, it's like all these boomer dads are like, yeah, my kid doesn't know how to hammer, and then the argument to that was like, he never barely met you.
It's like, yeah, you don't know my birthday, Dad. You don't know my birthday, Richard.
Yeah, you sent this idiot to get a college degree, take out all this debt, Richard. Yeah, Richard. All these things. You know the reverse mortgages? Where because a lot of these boomers, kind of some of them, like not the immigrant ones as much, but inherited money. And then a lot of boomers will take reverse mortgages where instead of putting their house in inheritance, they just bleed it back till they die. So
they just get all the money.
Yeah, but so they plan it to literally die with $0.
Yeah, they're getting it's the Warren Buffett treatment.
Yeah, and then you go,
you ain't getting nothing.
And then you go, yeah, but my kid can't use a drill. And you go,
well, that's why you're getting reverse mortgage, because you can't use a drill. You had it too good for too long, kid.
Yeah, it's just a different world, and being able to sort of run your life optimally and has changed in some degree. Not that there's anything wrong with those things, but it's just someone that lived in a different world, completely, saying it's anyone could go back further and be like, this guy doesn't even know how to cobble a shoe. And you go, yeah, those skills become increasingly less useful.
Yeah, for sure.
They're useful once a year when you move.
And again, somewhere like New York City.
There's probably people yelling at me right now.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of people who are listening to this. Go, no, I like fixing.
Shut
stuff.
up, Brian.
No, we have people who are listening to this right now, fixing something. They're like, yeah, I have some fixing.
If you like fixing, I don't think there's anything wrong with fixing something.
No, you shouldn't be shamed for it.
And to be honest, if you're our age, I actually don't mind you shaming. If I have someone that's around the same age bracket, that's yo, you can't fix this. They have the same life.
Yeah.
But it's
for an old person.
If you're a fucking 60 years old, you're living in a different world.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, agreed. Totally different thing. Shout out to the bug men and bug women.